There we go. Hello, everyone. I'm not going to be too long on here. I promise. I promise. I promise. I know. It's like, no. What do you mean? You get going, you're on here for an hour. It can happen. Yeah, it can. It can. So, just a few things I just wanted to hello. Um, to just I gotta formulate my thoughts right now. Yeah, a few things. Uh, the energies are just volatile. Um, how it's like for me personally, how it's hit me, I can see how it can hit many other people very, very easily. With the energies that are coming in and how they're um reacting on a lot of people's charts, and how it is very important to watch how we get angry or get all muffled, because it's it's where you can feel very depleted. And I can, within that depletion, how that can, as you're depleted, it takes the wind out of you. It's hard for you to get yourself going or get yourself back on. So it's important to sort of do things that can kind of distract you in order to find the solution, because sometimes when you're too overly focused on something, it's very difficult to figure out the solution. And so, one of the things for me, in order for me to continue doing what I'm doing and show up here every day, I'm having a sizzling summer sale. And my sizzling summer sale is like 3 readings for $200. It's what I have to do. If I don't start like for me and for my business, and to find the solutions for my business and for everything that's happened that seems to be throwing roadblocks in my way, I need to persevere. I need to continue on. And sometimes that can be very difficult, especially when we're going to be coming into a Mars square Pluto. Those are two, Scorpio's rulers. And Mars is going to be detriment, um, I think, by the end of this day in Taurus, and then squaring over to Pluto in Aquarius. And those are very volatile energies. It's energy that can really get you feeling, like, as I said, depleted, overwhelmed. I mean, on Friday, no fault of my own, driving along a residential street, going to pick up my grandson, and a car came out and hit me. And, through that, my car became undrivable. And through that, now it's somewhere. Hopefully it's at the garage, because it had to wait for the garage to open, so they had to take it into their impound, and then they have to take it over um to the garage to get fixed. So from that, I, had a market on Saturday. So I thought, okay, great, market. Market was freaking dead. Like, I mean, dead, like dead. I did do at least, oh, well, basically one reading um for one of the vendors, but there was basically nobody coming in. It wasn't there was nobody around. It was crazy. There was nobody around. So that market was a total dud. And so it was something that, you're investing, because it's like anything, you're investing, you want to create the abundance, you want to create the money and stuff. But through that, I mean, I did wake up with a headache, and I did wake up feeling a little bit off. So Sunday, I mean, with this, I'm like, okay, well, let me go and go to the dog. Let's go to the hospital and figure things out. Because for insurance policies, you have to do things, you got to jump through the hoops. So nothing's wrong. I do not have a concussions. There's, nothing wrong. But the thing is that he said there's, could be a like a head injury, but everything, he goes, my brain is there. Blood work came back perfect. My blood work is perfect. And I'm just like, really? Cholesterol, everything good. Everything good. I'm just like, oh my God. God. I think sometimes the way I eat and things I do is like, nope, Everything's good. You came back you came back with stars." So I'm like, "Oh, that's good." And the nurse said, "Yeah, look at he wrote perfect." He doesn't usually write back perfect. Um, he's probably saying for somebody my age, is probably like, "Hey, this is, like, fucking good." And I'm just like, "Oh my god, the coffee I drink and everything else I do." It's just like, ah. So anyways, but I know that I have an unusual metabolism for things. I just gain weight, that's all. But anyways, with that, so I had that, so these are the types of things, like things, especially with Uranus coming to where, near close to the end of Taurus, this is, can bring in this disruptions. And then as long as Mars comes into Taurus, this is bringing in some rumbling within our life. And I know many people say, well, I won't get angry, I won't get upset. Just it'll happen to it just it's unexpected. It's this unexpected energy, it's this unexpected diversions. And now from that, of course, there are things that happen when you have an accident. This is the other reason why I'm doing my sale. Because of unexpected things that have come up from this that have to be paid, from either getting a rental vehicle, you have to put a deposit down to get a rental vehicle. Plus, I have some outstanding bills that need to get paid ASAP. You know, so there's that. And it's just, you feel it, like the pressure is, and I think everybody's feeling it. They're all, we're feeling um that tightening that's coming in many different directions. And this is, I keep on asking, what am I supposed to learn from this? And this is one of the biggest things, is that you ask, what am I supposed to learn? I'm just like, okay, I got patience. Okay, I gotta have patience, right? Having patience, trust in what I'm doing, trust. And it's having that trust and that faith as you're walking along, to making that what is unfolding in a way that is going to bring something better along the way. But while you're in the midst of it, and while you're in the mixture of it, it sure in the fuck doesn't feel that way. It feels overwhelming, and it feels like, what the hell? You know, a lot from that accident, so far from that accident. I mean, yes, my wrist is still swollen. It hurts, but there's no bones that are in it in it. There's no bones in my arm. There's no bones broken or anything, which is good. The headache comes in and it sort of glances, even if my hair is down or up, it doesn't matter. For me, it's better to have my hair up because my hair is so thick. To have it down, it just feels like it's like pulling me down. So, having my hair up, really, it does help somewhat. So there's that's going on. And even as I was in the hospital, there's how many car accidents. Like, and I was, because I was quite close to the nurses station, and just listening to what they're saying, they're like, man, there's a lot of car accidents today. A guy was going on Stony, and he was passing someone, and he's going over, like, he's on Stony, so he's going 100 or just over 100. And as he's passing the guy pulled over, like, didn't even like, pulled over and clipped his tire. Thank God he was in full motorbike gear, like helmet, jacket, everything, full gear, like full gear. Thank goodness. Um, but he said the guy acted as if he didn't even see him, like he wasn't there, but he was passing him, kind of thing. So there was that. And then there was another accident that came in. So it was crazy. Like, car accidents were just like crazy. Mine was like, I wasn't going fast, and he was pulling out of his street parking spot and bashed into my passenger side. And you know, um, love listening to the nurses station. I know there's all this stuff that comes in. She's like, oh, really? Hmm. And it's funny. One of the things that I found very funny is that they were still talking about the C word, and it's not cunt, the other C word. And they were still talking about that, and um, how they at the hospital are still worried about um, an outbreak of some outbreak coming in. So they're getting informed about something. And the thing is that unfortunately, a lot of them don't do their own research or whatever, which is fine. God bless the nurses. But they were talking about that, and I found that really interesting, to say the least, and what they were talking about there, and how they are, that there's things that are going to be having to come back into place. And I'm just like, whoa, interesting. Of course, I want to get to know what more has to go into place. But that I found very interesting. So it's all of this coming in, and it's the willpower. It's the willpower that we need to have within, and the faith and the trust that we have to have in our own selves individually in order to persevere, in order to continue on. Um, at this time, I don't have a rental. I it's fucked. Um, working on it, working on trying to get the rental. It is covered by the insurance, but I have to, of course, put a deposit down, and it's a refundable deposit, but it's getting that deposit down, right? It's like fuck, it's like one thing after another, right? She's like, okay, I got this. Okay, I got this, and I got this, and this is how the shifting of the energies are, where it's like, okay, we're doing this, and then boom, you're shifted over here. Okay, all right, I got this. Boom, you're shifted over here. And so the energies are in this sort of shifting in preparedness. And that's the other thing that I kept on getting. It's preparing us. It's preparing for some of the major things that are going to be coming in, that are, if it's going to throw you off, if it's going to make you off kiltered, that you are able to still stand in your faith, that you are still able to continue on with the willpower within. And is it mentally taxing? Yes, I gotta say. um I've had more than one breakdown this weekend. Just saying. With everything. And the thing is that one of the pieces is that in those breakdowns, it's allowing the breakdown to happen, right? And when you're allowing the breakdown to happen, to embrace it, because it's showing that vulnerability, within. It's showing that, you know what, I am human. I am needing this. I need to be able to rely on others, or I need to reach out for help. What from different, from my family or my children or whomever. And this is where, with this energy that's coming in within today, is going to push that. It's going to push that. It's going to push it, where for us to figure that, where are we going to find it in healthy ways, and where we're already running into our mind, and our egos are going to just take over and start doing some cray cray kind of stuff, right? It's going to get us into some cray cray energy. So this is where we have to find the healthier ways, the more positive ways. I went out and I weeded um a little bit this morning, and I was outside weeding the garden, and that's where I got my sizzling summer sale. It just popped into my head. It says, do the sizzling summer sale. Okay, I'm going to do the sizzling summer sale. And, to create that prosperity, knowing that I do have that power inside of myself to create these things, and to do these things and put them out there. So I'm putting it out there, right? And doing the steps. And now it's just to allow for things to come back, right? And I'm bringing that forth. We have a lot of rain happening here. Yeah, we have rain coming in today and tomorrow too. But we're on water restrictions still here in Calgary, because it was the main one of the main water pipes that burst, which, yeah, Interesting. Anyways, so what one of the main water break, and they have to flush the pipe out and everything else and stuff like that and fix it at 6 or 7 feet on either end. So it's quite they said another they keep on saying 6 to 7 days, so we'll see. But they said one of the um one of one of the um like I guess a lot of things had they couldn't do this weekend or something to do with the pools. I don't know if the rec centers were open or if they closed them because of the water restrictions and stuff like that. This would kind of like as soon as I hear the water restrictions, it brings me back to the 70s when there was a lot of water restrictions and there's gas and oil. But Neptune is at 29 degrees of Pisces. And with Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces and Saturn there, that's all about they are all closed. Yeah, so that's restriction. So we are going to be coming into more and more of restrictions with water, restrictions with oil, anything to do with anything liquid. So we're going to see a restriction of it or a restraint of those types of things. So when it comes to the gas and the oil, something just happened with Saudi Arabia and the oil and some of the restrictions Saudi Arabia is putting on there and on the United States. So it's we're going to be feeling those restrictions in some way, even though our gas went down to 149. I know some places are 149, 148, and we're just like, woo, it's cheap. No, it's not. It should be 75 cents. But the restrictions are there, right? So a lot of that restriction. So that too, along with these squares coming in, are bringing in tension, bringing in upset, bringing in accidents. This is where a lot of accidents are going to happen, not only car accidents. This is where people may trip, may break a bone, this is where you're going to find that even within your own home, there could be water mains that break. There could be things that get backed up, and things will happen. Oh, sorry, that hurt. Just not going to do that. Just like, oh wait, that hurts. But things that'll happen, like even though like there's tons, like there's rain coming, and the water is going to be coming down. So it's like even for this summer, a lot. It's a very wet summer. Like when especially when it comes to if you are wanting to any gardening and things like that, you might have to rely on a water barrel. So that's the other thing. So if anybody out there is having their own garden, I would set up some water barrels and to start to bring in the water and use the water barrels as for watering your garden. So setting up water barrels, and that's what they're showing me. People need to set up water barrels, and even to get a water filtration system, not a Brita one, but some kind of water filtration system people are going to be needing. And especially not so much this year, but if you can get it this year, it's going to pay off because you're going to be needing that for next year. So setting these little things up are going to be very beneficial for people and very helpful, right? So no, this isn't one that goes in the fridge. Not a Brita. This isn't, no, because the Brita is not going to be able to do what it needs to do. I know Brita, I mean, a lot of people have Brita, but this one, I don't know. It's what that I haven't seen. Anyways, it's kind of like a stainless steel one. But the thing is that with a lot of filtration systems, you can start doing your research on crystals. So things like rose quartz, clear quartz, citrine, shungite. Shungite is a very good one, right? I want one so bad. um, you know, this is what there are osmosis filtration systems and different artesian ones that you can look into that have crystals that are in them for helping with the filtration of the water, and bringing in that filtration of water. And I know a lot of people have the straws and everything else, which is absolutely fabulous to have those. But they're just showing me is like the rainwater barrels are going to be very, very important to have if you are a gardener and you're able to do that. The stainless steel one is called Berkey. Berkey, Berkey. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know what it was called. I just see it in my head. So that's what it is. So yeah, so having those are going to be what people are, I feel like that they're going to be needing, because I feel um I feel this is not saying anything about anything that happened here, but I feel that there is some kind of not experiment, but some kind of like watching how does Calgary deal with the restrictions, with a outlaw town, Calgary outlaw town. How are they? How are they falling in line? Are they paying attention, or are they doing what they're supposed to be doing, kind of thing? So I feel like this is sort of like allegedly. This is allegedly. I feel that like this is almost like a test. That's what it is, a test allegedly to see how we do, and what it is that in doing what we do. So this is really looking in, how are we doing what we do, and are we doing well, or are we allegedly. So I feel like there's something there that is getting us to allegedly pay attention. It's another division between people. Yes. Allegedly. We have to say allegedly because, but that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of this that's going to be coming down the chute, and things like that are going to, yeah, bring in the division between people, bringing in some kind of divide, that we are not able to come together. So, so it's important to be doing certain things for ourselves, so that we are not feeling that division. We're not feeling that, the craziness, and finding positive ways, positive solutions, and everything is an important thing at this time, is finding those positive solutions. So so let me pull some cards for us all. Where are my cards? Oh, we'll just bring these in. Let me just go like this. This is easier for me. So yeah, so I have readings on sale. 3 readings for $200. I still have my moon sale on. Moon readings, $300 if you want 2 readings for the rest of the month, for the rest of the year, till the end of the year. And I'm finding how they're helpful, like just understanding that this energy is coming in. It's like I knew that there would be some disruptions and things that are coming in within my own chart, and understanding those disruptions, right? And what those disruptions were going to be, I was not totally sure of. I knew there was some things, because little things started to happen, and I did get the tarot, the tower card, so I knew that there's going to be something. So it's really having, coming back, having that faith uh, that I really have to trust, and I feel that's going to be for many of us where they land, right? And is by tomorrow, because Mercury's doing 2 minutes a day, 2 degrees a day. So by the end of tomorrow, it's going to be squaring over to Saturn. And those squares over to Saturn can really, this is about willpower. This is about health. And this is, our minds could really get very overly active, and trying to find the solutions. Well, Saturn's not in a happy place. Saturn is, in a place that is, trying to bring in the boundaries where there are no boundaries, trying to put in structures where there are no structures. It's Pisces, right? And that can be very, frustrating because you're trying to it's like trying to build something in a swamp. I saw an ad and who was it on? I think I watched this guy, I allegedly Dan, and he was talking about this realtor woman in this one area on the coast of California, I think it is, where she's selling land. It's a half acre, but it's underwater. It's underwater. And she's selling it like how she's selling it. It's like quite hilarious. But I mean, there's all these types of things that you'd have to do in order to just build on it, if you could build on it. But it's land underwater. She's selling land underwater. That's how crazy things are, with this coming in. So yeah. So we want things to go a certain way, but the night comes in reverse. That means, yeah, we want to go slow and steady, but there's things that are kind of murky and mucky right now that aren't going to get us to go, directly directly in the way that we want to go. Yeah. And same with our passion. So we might be feeling, this is our night. This is where, yeah, I have passion and I want to go. And it's like, oh, I feel reserved. And you just, yeah, you know, you can't get where you want to go. And so it's like, this is where it's like, okay, I have to regroup. I have to reformulate my plans. Which way do I got to go? And this could be, okay, instead of me just trying to sit here and, I'm going to think my way out of it, go for a walk, get out, do something, mow the lawn, dig the weeds out. you know, this is where this is coming in, where because you don't want to get overly, yeah, you don't want to get into that hermit stage. You don't want to get too obsessive, because when the hermit is reversed, it can get obsessive. It can get overwhelming, and you don't want to get into that overwhelmness of the hermit. So let's get the question for the hermit. So the question is, what higher teachings are being presented to me at this time? Struggling to connect with higher self or spirit, you may need to set aside some time for you. So setting some time, doing, maybe a short meditation, a dance, movement. This can also indicate an opportunity to reestablish your sense of strength within your existing relationships. So looking at, who can I talk to? Who can I rely on? Where can I go? And our overall energy is like, yeah, the five of wands is, what are the restrictions again, about restrictions. So the five of wands is, my overall, am I ready to work through temporary obstacles? Am I ready to go through this? Because we might have a reluctance to express it. We might feel, in our inner thoughts and feelings, and we might want to just, stop and repress and just get too much into our ego. And this is it, it can only be that you simply need to regain a sense of peace, come into that harmony, go for a walk, connect, get out. And this is where that you can find that independence, so that you're able to feel good again, and that you're able to feel like, yeah, I can get through this. This is a temporary obstacle. We can do this. I know it feels like the world is ending, or this is way too much, but just watch how you are reacting to it. And if you have a breakdown, you have a breakdown, right? It happens. It can be a lot. I know, just just for me having this accident, I'm still pretty shook up by it. The whole thing, the whole, like, I can honestly say, physically, I'll do my lives, but it's just, I looked, that Berkey system, is there one that you hook into the house, or is it better this way? Because these are, no, it's on the counter. You don't, you can hook up a system to you. That's a whole different water system if you want to hook up something. But I find if you have an independent one, because then you can move it anywhere. Please rest. Well, I'm going to rest as much as I can. I got to figure out, because we are needing a vehicle ASAP. So I got to figure shit out, baby. It's supposed to be gravity driven. Yeah. So they're very nice. I know the Canadian Prepper sells them or did sell them. He did have them in, and then what happened? I think he ran out because they're getting harder to get. So that's the whole thing, is that you're going to find that it's going to get harder and harder to get certain items because yeah. Yeah, they're over $500. Yeah. I figured they're about 500 or so. And I know the different there's another one that we used to sell at Community too, and it had different layers of crystals and minerals, right? I was looking at was $722. Yeah. Yeah, I have between $500 and $800 between it, and it's all depending where you get it from. I would definitely look up the Canadian Prepper because he's Canadian and he's from Saskatchewan, and he's he's a local guy. So it's I support local as much as possible. So the Canadian Prepper, yeah, they have a site. I don't know if it's CanadianPrepper.com or something. You can Google it. You can find him online and then find him on YouTube, and then just go. He usually has his link in the bio. So, and you can do that. So, and go from there. So, anyways, you guys have a blessed day. Spread the news. If you don't need the readings and stuff, spread it to other people. Let people know that this fabulous person, me, and that I am doing readings, and they're on for $200. So, which is a great deal because my readings are regularly $180 to $200 an hour. So, have a blessed one. So, hey, basically, you're getting 2 readings for free. There you go. Have a great one, everyone, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Enjoy the day.